New Testament 9, the four evangelists were the goddesses of Jesus' life. First step Catholics. The four evangelists were the goddesses of Jesus' life? Well, I refuse you not. The old tradition tells me that no. In fact, Eusebius of Caesarea in Ecclesiastical History is in chapter 2 verse 15 of the following. Mark was a companion of Pierre and translated as well some sermons that he did. Well, I decided to take notes and give you some advice, from stories that told you in the preaching. But it is safe. I'll be the winner of the Gossip Who Future, Fut Salui by Mark. What's more about the court plus Mark, I was not in the beginning of events. In regard to who Matthew relates, certain self-affirming that I had the Apostle Matthew because I had been assisting you. Sulemont in Listen our Gospel where he rejoices that the Gospel of Mark restricts completely. I met him at the bottom and I criticized other people saying that I could not get another Matthew or someone who did not attend anything. I'm telling you that, what does it work for you? Historical critical reviews of what is in this. Ilsu etil Luke etil la ilia tradition plus ancien qui racon that Luke was medecin et that trace cultive, imbued de grec culture, I volut faire over historique etil fit un enquête. It will be revealed after the Vierge Marie, who allows to explain why he is risking again. The continuing end suite after having done our Gospel, Ocal il integra to the texts of Saint Mark. Il continues with the Acts of the Apostles, a 20th book, which is written by the Apostles. As he stopped at a given moment, where I think that I have a long list of the time, after a refreshing after Jesus Christ. You still know Jean and you, tout a tradition that goes to Saint Irene. Saint's surname, Irenaeus was ordained bishop by Saint Polycarp, who is also the boss of Saint Etienne. The tradition raconte that Saint Jean took off I retired to Ephesus. The lawsuit was the priest of the Virgin Mary, because he was a part of the heavenly mind, he triumphed humbly. I was out contemplative. At one point, the future seemed to be a dream. A new breath that comes with a par. What's the apocalypse of Saint Jean? I was at the time in exile south of the island of Patmos because it had already been granted and that it had reserved the Roman authorities. From the coup, let's face the poor who explains the future of the Church and the Goddess, before they die, as well as they are the success of the Gospel and fit in their way, with all the wisdom of tout de unda meditation. So, in the Gospel, it seems to be the most tardive and the last will of the New Testament, going back to 80 to 90, after Jesus Christ. In spite of this, I'm still late, but I still have not been here for the past 5 years, where I live the Passion of Jesus. How well, is it that I come to tell you what bad stuff are you infidels? No. I have heard that I'm telling you how badly I've been getting a voucher, where I got my mentality. It is also necessary to communicate who explains the orientation, in a sense or in another in the Gospel. Even so many times, unbelievably, the Esprit Saint will be able to make sure who is the essentiel, the doctrine of what you have to do to help him, the best way to make a difference.